And Harry Potter, how would you rate J.K. Rowling in your sprawling research? She will go down in history as what? Among the greatest of all time? Or did she get lucky at the time when, or not so much as compared to Blyton at the time, or Agatha Christie? This is because she stands head and shoulders above everybody else. How would you put her in this
I think
list?
she's very, very good. And I know there's a sort of fashion for knocking her, partly which is on the basis that, some people disagree with her interventions on gender politics, which is a whole separate conversation I don't particularly want to get into because I think it's very irrelevant to the work itself. The work itself is... People sometimes complain that she's unoriginal, and in some senses she is, but I think one of the arguments in my book is that so much of the great children's writing is about collage, is about taking something and making it new, and she is fabulously good at that. I mean, I think that what the Harry Potter stories do is to almost look back over the whole canon of children's literature that's gone before them, and they pinch all the good bits shamelessly, and they go, right, we'll have this part of the school story, and we'll have this part of the kind of portal fantasy, and we'll have this aspect of the, Cinderella, lonely orphan, turns out to have a historical destiny story. We'll pinch all these things and we'll make it new. We'll take the fantasy bestiary of Tolkien and we'll add it to this and this and this. And in order to make that work, it's not just a question of taking the influences, it's a question of combining them in the right way. And that she did virtuosically, because she's very, her prose isn't showy, but it does its work. The storytelling is on point, the pacing is great, the jokes I think are good, and the characterization is very effective. And, her success was very undeniably not the result of publishing hype, certainly not to start with. It was a result of literally children in playgrounds, word of mouth. The children who read that first book, which was published to no great fanfare and in a relatively small first edition,
Right.
The children who read it loved it, and they told their friends, and their friends read it, and their friends loved it, and that's why it sold a bazillion copies.
Yeah.
And I don't think you can take that away from her. And I think that she goes down in history as someone who changed the history of the genre in as much as she changed children's publishing. She made such an impact, and she actually genuinely moved the publishing market, and children's literature was reinvigorated, and so many writers who've come after. Some of them, on the face of it, more sophisticated writers, could not have found their place in the world without her. So I think all credit to J.K. Rowling.